Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we are back with another Shadowverse Evolved gameplay video for you. On the top of the screen we are going to have George piloting his Havencraft deck versus Alex piloting his Runecraft deck. This is the only deck Alex has ever been on. You guys may or may not remember him from a big tournament some odd months ago back where he got second place piloting a Daria deck that played 3 Gilgamesh in it. So this guy's always been on Rune for the longest time, as has George in terms of Haven. They both love their respective classes, so I'm really excited to recap this video because it should be a good one for you guys to showcase some of the new things available to us. Like Haven has Aether, it has Globe of the Stairways, and then obviously Runecraft has a ton of stuff, namely Giant Chimera. So this is going to be a great game, I hope so. Alex looks like he went second. He's going to pass on one. George goes to 2 play points. He is going to play a Dark Charisma. He's going to search his deck for any amulet. Dark Charisma also has another ability for 2 play points and a quick effect. It can send itself to the grave, draw a card, and heal 1. So great card. Very, 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 very consistent. But yeah, I mean, it adds a lot of new options for Haven for sure. Alex goes Insight at the end phase. He's probably going to pass here on turn 2. He does. That's just Rune for you. There's no sense in playing their card right now when they can do it at the end of your turn, just to give them a little bit more options. George is going to use all 3 of his play points to send that Sacred Pleiades Search last turn to draw 2 cards. At the end phase, Alex plays Sorcery Cache, reveals 3, or looks at the top 4 cards, hits a Lamplet and a Fate's Hand. Looks like he has an Agnes and a Mr. Heinlein as well. So puts the Chain Calling, or Chain of Calling? Yeah, Chain of Calling in the cemetery, and puts the Fate's Hand in hand. I guess I don't know why I thought he had a Lamplet. That's definitely not a Lamplet in his hand. So now Alex goes to 3 play points. He might just pass here with 7 cards in hand. Just again, might as well, because if you can see, he also has a Surefire bullet in his hand. You know, in most matchups, like if a Novice Trooper came down, not to say that Haven would play Novice Trooper, but you know, if that came down, you might want to hit it with Surefire instead of Sorcery Cache. George is going to play a Death Sentence. That's not a good sign, because that card is mostly going to be dead in this matchup, and I'm sure he knows it. I think this is, I mean, these are both, well, Haven is more reactionary than Runecraft, because Runecraft has cards like Sorcery Cache and Chain of Calling to do, you know, that's clearly working for their engine. He hits an Insight and an Angelic Snipe off of that. That was really good. And then he uses his last play point to draw with the Insight. So he's got to be, I think he's at 6 spells already, and he's on turn 4. Yeah, this is not a good matchup for Haven. The slower the deck is, the better Runecraft is going to have, you know, in terms of how good they're going to do against it. If they have time to set up their cemetery, you're in trouble. You need to put pressure on. But if you see at the end phase, Alex passed on 8 cards, discarded Trail of Light, drew another card, discarded Fate's Hand at the end phase. So that is another strategy if you're playing Chimera, that it's fine to let yourself overdraw, because you will be able to pitch free spells in the cemetery without doing anything, without spending play points. That is a legitimate strategy to fill up your grave. But you know, it looks like he's just kind of working towards nothing, but this deck has an OTK, it has a game plan. He is truly solitaring it up right now. George, it's a tough matchup. It's because, again, Haven is really reactionary, and there's not really much that he can react to. It's not like Dragon where you can play a Forte and apply some pressure. When Forte comes down, Runecraft starts sweating because they have to out it right then. And if you look at Alex's hand right now, if there was a Forte, which obviously there couldn't be because it's Haven, he'd have no way to deal with it whatsoever. Reveals 5 cards off a Chain of Calling. Daria, Magic Owl. It looks like he's taking the Magic Owl, actually. Yeah, that is, I mean, I guess, no, that's fine. Yeah, so, because the Daria is part of an OTK, and he's probably thinking he can absolutely get to an OTK by the end of this. And if you also notice, he had he was rearranging the bottom of his deck, because it actually will matter. It could matter where his cards end up at the bottom, because there is going to be, I mean, you'll see it here, I'm sure. It looks like he's kind of considering how to get there too. So he looks like he's going to consider playing Mr. Heinlein. Mr. Heinlein is a great card, but you need to make sure you play very little followers in your deck. So we hit a Europa, a Rime Wind, a Surefire, and I think another Rime Wind. So he recovers 3 play points back. That's great. Europa, also, if you guys haven't looked into it, you should. That card is so good. If it evolves into a 3/5 Stormbane Ward. It's crazy. At the end phase, George uses Globe of the Stairways, or Dark Charisma, technically, to draw a card and heal. Puts him at 1 health. Or, sorry, 21 health. What a horrible card. It puts you at 1. Okay, so now, let's see. George is on 6 play points. It looks like he... Okay, so yeah, I forgot Mr. Heinlein was on the board. So he actually can Acolyte the Mr. Heinlein away. He healed 2 more, puts him to 23, and he's going to have 2 play points left. He's going to allow himself to overdraw. If you notice, he discarded a Bell Ringer instead of playing it. The reason for that is because if he has a Bell Ringer up, that is turning on more cards that Alex has, like Lamplet, Angelic Snipe, and he doesn't want to be able to do that for him. So he is doing the right thing. I mean, I think that's the right way to play this matchup. It's already a horrible matchup, but that is the correct way to play it. You might as well, like, yeah, you'll get a card out of the Bell Ringer, but it's worse that he is getting cards, because I mean, Rune can brick. They absolutely can brick and get a mostly follower heavy hand, and things just kind of crumble from there. But this is a good showcase of what happens when you don't brick and your deck starts responding to you well. So ignore Alex's phone. Life is not accurate there. He's going to play the Magic Owl, discard Chain of Calling to draw a Trail of Light. That's a little unfortunate, because I'm sure he would have preferred to have that. But he could discard at the end phase, actually. Yeah. So he's going to overdraw here. Draws a Mr. Heinlein, draws a Europa. So he can discard at the end phase. I think he's going to be able to pitch 2 cards. And then one of those cards will be a Trail of Light, so he'll draw another one and just pitch more spells for free. Magic Owl is also new from this set. That card is so good. It's a little worse in this matchup because Magic Owl is best whenever you can summon it and crash it into something, so that way its last words will trigger to discard another card and redraw. But I mean, it's a great card nonetheless, for sure. He is thinking about what to do next with his 3 play points. He is going to play the Europa. So you guys are going to see it here. He's going to use the Evo point, play the Europa, evolve it, and he's going to be able to swing directly at George for 3, putting him down to 20. Europa is just crazy. I heard that the reason why Alex is actually playing that card is to help with cards that have like aura, so like Beauty and the Beast, maybe Narita Bryan. It's a Forte. Forte actually is a really good one to consider. So yeah, that's a really great card for that. You know, for those like just good counterplay. You know, at the end phase, George is going to heal 1 with Globe of the Stairways and draw a card. So he's going to go back to 21. And let's see here. He's going to be on 7 play points now, so he might actually do an Aether play this turn. Oh, and you know what? That Death Sentence is finally going to have some use. Yeah, it's going to be able to out the Europa. Then he can play the Aether. Yeah, look at that beautiful Aether. One of the best, most gorgeous-looking ultimates I've ever seen. George wasted no time getting his play set. And man, it looks so good. So he's going to play the Aether, and he's going to summon a Curate from his deck. So Curate is all of a sudden a lot better with Aether. What a play, man. Good on him for building his deck. Like, Curate is if you guys don't know, it's a 5/5 or 6-drop 5/5 that just says heal 5 to your leader. It's very good. I mean, it's a good card, or it's an okay card, but it costs a lot for what it is. But when you play it with Aether, now all of a sudden you have a 3/5 ward with a 5/5, and you just healed 5. It's great, man. It's way more worth playing now that Aether is a card. So George allows himself to overdraw, it looks like, not wanting to give Alex anything else to work with. Alex looks like he has a ton of cards already. I mean, certainly over 10. I'm assuming around like 15 or so. Draws to 7 play points. Draws another Magic Owl. You see he has two giant chimeras already, and a Daria, so he's almost there to the combo. He's going to swing the Magic Owl into the Aether, going to discard and Angelic Snipe, draws into Mystic Ring. That's it. That's the final piece of the puzzle. So what he wants to do is he wants to get his deck to be so thin that he can activate Mystic Ring to put Giant Chimera on the bottom, so that way he knows that he can pitch his entire hand, hit the Giant Chimera with Daria, and make it cost only 2. So that means the rest of your deck is pretty much gone, and you will be able to deal 30 effect damage with Giant Chimera. So it's actually kind of crazy. But it looks like he has about, yeah, he's got 9 cards left. So what he might be considering here, I mean, you could play a, I think does he have a Mr. Heinlein? Because if he has a Mr. Heinlein, you can still play that. And yes, he does have Mr. Heinlein. You could play that and turn it to its side, discard, like I think he had a Surefire Bullet in his hand or something. And that will deal 4 damage to the Aether to at least out that. And then there's, you know, there's all that pressure off of you that you're absolutely not dying just because you're taking 5 from Curate. But, I mean, we'll see. I'm interested to see what he does. He actually just plays a Chimera. Okay. You know what? That's fair. I think the first Chimera is more of a throwaway because you really just need the second one to resolve. Puts George at 21. And that, I mean, that 5 matters. I mean, because George could get above 30, and then the OTK is not really a thing anymore. So George should be able to out it. I mean, he's on 8 play points, and he hasn't been able to use much removal at all. I think he used, he used an Acolyte, he used the Death Sentence, but that's pretty much it. And I saw at least two Themis Decrees in his hand too. So I'm sure we're definitely outing it. It's just how we do it is the question here. But not the best of situations for George to be in, unfortunately. I mean, like I said, this matchup is tough. It's I would say personally, this is unwinnable. If you run into a Chimera deck and they draw just decent, it's gonna be a tough time for sure, for sure. I mean, like with Aegis, your attacks for game are with Aegis, and Chimera just kind of deals with Aegis. You know, he kind of just deals with it. Like, I mean, man, he does enough effect damage to wipe it out. So George is going to discard. I don't even know what he's playing. That looks like a, what is that called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember the cards, like what they're called. But that card, I know it can send itself to the cemetery to deal 4 damage to a follower. I forgot why he plays it. It's some kind of goo. I know that. It's some kind of goo. Alex looks like he has 9 cards in the cemetery. Maybe he had 10 last time. Is that what it was? Because I would have played the Mr. Heinlein. But, okay, he plays Mr. Heinlein now for 5. He's going to reveal Lamplit, Magic Owl, Agnes, and Europa, the last Europa. That's still all okay because the point of Mr. Heinlein in that situation was to just to get us lower than 5. So we're going to Magic Ring. We're going to put the Giant Chimera on the bottom. We're going to draw our second Daria. I feel like you kind of don't even need to be on 2 Daria, you know? I feel like maybe you could just get away with just playing the 1. But I mean, I haven't tested this, so what would I know? But he plays Magic Owl for another play point to discard Lamplit. He forgot to draw his card. Yeah, he sure did. He just forgot to draw his card. But that's okay. I mean, it happens. It happens for sure. He's like, I don't need this. I've got game next turn. I think he really does. I mean, there's no way George heals 10 right here, but he's got to figure out something fast. I mean, I don't know what he does. He's on 9 play points. And I think you kind of just concede here. I think, you know, right? Like you just do your shenanigans and just put them on, like, you know, have the combo. You know, he's got the Aether. He's gonna drop the Aether here, I'm sure. Bring out the Aegis. He still has Guardian Sun from earlier, so he can go for his you know, what Aegis's win condition used to be, or it still is a win condition. It's just not a win condition in this matchup. So he is going to play Aether, brings out Aegis directly from the deck because his maximum play count is 9, so he can bring it out an 8 or lower. He has got 2 play points left over, so you could evolve the Aegis here, but it looks like he's going to end up pitching 3 cards anyway, pitching dead cards, by the way. Those are not going to come in handy. He's going to evolve the Aegis, and then I think he's going to play, yeah, he plays the Guardian Sun, gives it Ward, and then turns it to its side, and that is it. So he's going to, Alex is going to play the Surefire Bullet, get another card in the Cemetery, draws a Sorcery Cache. It looks like he's probably going to... Okay, so I don't know why he's swinging the Mr. Heinlein, I guess to... Oh, no, to get another card in the grave. Yeah, so he's going to swing the Magic Owl into it as well, so draw another card with the pitching Sorcery Cache. He's going to play the Daria, discard his last 2 cards, bring out his last 2 cards, evolve Daria for 1, make Giant Chimera a 2-drop, and then he can bring it out to do 30 damage to the entire board. So that's actually going to be the match. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Look at him counting out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, more than 30. So what a game. Hope you guys enjoyed the match. Let me know what decks you want to see in the next one. That's all I got for you guys today, and I will see you in the next one.